So, for anyone watching what's going on in the cities of America, with the shoplifting I mean, the videos are going viral. People just going in and stealing copious amounts of products, and apparently there's being no repercussions. Laws were changed in California to make it so the if it was under $1,000, it's a minor misdemeanor fine or something that they're not even prosecuting really. Um, New York City's also having issues with shoplifting and law and order. And we're going to watch a video of AOC doing a press conference relating to migrants. And you're going to hear a chant in the back, close the border. And she just keeps talking over him, um, telling him why everything is fine, giving her 5 point agenda or how many points there are in it. And, just outright ignoring what the people are saying. So let's listen in. Ha ha ha!
Cortez is speaking now. She's angry at the mayor of New York, says he's not showing leadership on the illegal immigrants flowing into the city. Watch.
And that we are joining with the city and state administration.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be here with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and members of our delegation, as well as other members from other states that are here to see for themselves what the migration dynamic is in our nation. And what we saw there with children, families, people that want to work, people that are fleeing violence, people that are fleeing environmental disasters. We see so many stories, heartbreaking stories, manifest itself here. But I think these are folks that will take New York City to a better place. Every crisis presents great opportunity. There's hope and opportunity in this building. So I wanted to thank all my colleagues for coming. As you can see, this is a contentious issue, but we are all Americans, and we all believe in the American dream. That's the common denominator here, the American dream. We believe in it, and we will fight for it. With that?
Yes, and ultimately, I think that there are 3 points of consensus here that are very important in getting a solution to this issue.
See how she has to raise her voice? So she's going to lay out her bullet points while they continue to say close the border, and she is going to directly ignore them.
The first is that there is consensus here across geography and states on increased federal resources to cities and municipalities dealing with this issue. The second is to allow for work authorizations so that the folks in here can get to work and start supporting themselves as soon as possible. They are prevented from getting jobs, they are prevented from employment, and that is part of the strain on our public systems. The faster that folks can access the work that they're asking for legally,
I mean, they were trying to claim that they were feeding themselves, but like most of the videos are stealing clothes and makeup products. Like there is food in the store if they wanted to steal that, but they are stealing things that are high value to go get money. And then I don't know, then you see the same cities that have these zombie epidemics where people are, buying fentanyl and dazing, like about to fall over. They're teetering, rocking back and forth on the corner like literally like a zombie, just like a zombie movie. There's videos of people on street corners in these cities that are just existing on the sidewalk, and they're out of their mind on drugs. So I think, you know beyond what she's talking about, you do need to have laws and enforce your laws. You can't just let people loot and then expect them to go get a job. It's way easier to just go steal a shopping bag full of electronics and take it to the pawn shop than it is to work 8 hours. If you incentivize stealing, anyone who doesn't have a moral compass is going to be like, yeah, I'll just steal. Why would I work? No, thank you. I'll just keep stealing. So they've created a bit more of a problem than I think that they are being genuine about admitting.
the better we can solve this problem. And the third is extension of temporary protected status for Venezuelans, who are the largest population that are arriving here. So
American dream will not be bullied into submission today. We will continue to fight for the American dream. We will not be bullied. We will not be pushed into a corner. We will fight for these common sense solutions. TPS for the Venezuelans, an extension. They already have TPS. Work permits for.
Yeah. They're just doubling down. They're not addressing the actual problems, and it's not just it. Let's be clear. This is not just migrants doing this. This is definitely American citizens that are like, whoa. I mean, it's open season on stealing from stores. Like, you're seeing record amounts of shoplifting in metropolitan areas across the United States. You are seeing record amounts of shoplifting, record amounts of loss in retail environments. And that is not just a specific migrant crisis. They're just like the gun debate where they're like, oh, ban guns. I mean, gun can't do anything on its own. UK doesn't have guns. They've got a stabbing epidemic. If you've got mental illness in the country that's not being addressed, if you've got desperation and hopelessness because things are so shitty, then you get people lashing out. If you create a healthy environment where everyone has opportunity and we're all getting along, you don't experience these symptoms, right? Because we're only talking about symptoms instead of discussing the underlying problems, which is the underlying problems would be that the U.S. Citizens are not being represented fairly by the government. Laws and actions are not being taken that are in our best interest. Laws and actions are being put into place that are in the best interest of corporate money that funds the elections and the lobbyists and the whole system. I mean, how are politicians making millions of dollars? Where's that coming from? Out of thin air? It's not coming from me because I ain't got it. So what group would have enough money to give these people millions of dollars in order to get laws passed and in order to get people that will comply and do what they want into office? I think the answer is pretty clear. You just got to look at who's got that amount of money where they can give away hundreds of millions of dollars. That would be the billionaires or the multi-hundred millionaires, you know? It's not that hard to figure out.
People that just want to work for their families. Additional funding, yes, for New York City needs more funding so we can get this done. God bless you, America. We love you.
All right. What are you guys doing to get additional funding?
Thank you. We're going to fight for a supplemental that will include funding and language in it that will guarantee funding for New York City.
Wow, New York City representatives, along with the Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, dealing with a shout fest right here in New York City. They are ready for close the border, and anti-illegal immigration is their stance. And some of the words got pretty colorful, and they were drowning out the Congresswoman and other Democrats who were there. You saw her lay out a plan, and on that plan, I'll keep it short, she wants to quickly push through work authorizations for the many men, particularly adult men, you see flowing on the streets of the city because they are now in a situation where the shelters are full and they're starting to release. And before they can make their way out of the city, before they go anywhere else, you see people lining up trying to get resources. All right, we understand that Representative Jerry Nadler is there, Democrat. Can we hear him? Let's listen in.
And has been doing a great deal to assist these asylum seekers. But the federal government can and should do more. That is why I support additional funding for the shelter services and program in the supplemental budget to give additional resources to New York and other cities welcoming migrants. Unfortunately, House Republicans seem set on defunding the Department of Homeland Security and shutting down our government. I also led a letter with Immigration Subcommittee Ranking Member Jayapal and over 100 of our colleagues to urge the administration to use all the tools available to them to provide stability to asylum seekers and undocumented immigrants in our communities. The administration has the flexibility to provide faster access to employment authorization documents, and to protect families by redesignating Venezuela for temporary protected status. I was proud to join Mr. Espaillat's bipartisan letter regarding this common sense idea. The problems that led to Venezuela's previous designation in 2021 remain pervasive today. The solutions my colleagues and I are advocating for are squarely within the administration's purview and will benefit us all. Immigrants make America strong, and nowhere is that clearer than right here in New York. In a city that's always changing, the one constant is that people from around the world want to come here to build a better life for themselves, and we're all the better for that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you want to say?
I mean, I don't know anything. I don't live in New York City, but based on the fact that that is New York City and that's the reaction of the people standing on the street that came to this event, it doesn't sound like things are going all that well. And the people who are running the border policy and leading the policy regarding this type of thing in America are seeming to create quite a mess. Certainly not the migrants' fault. It is the fault of the policymakers not providing legal avenues that are actually efficient and not covered in red tape. So you have illegal migrants that have to come to the country because, God forbid, you fix the actual legal system that brings people in here legitimately. No, let's just open the border and let anybody come in. And I mean, this is a conspiracy, but like, I don't understand why, because clearly when you don't check who's coming across the border and find out anything about them, I mean, people want to say, oh, no criminals are coming across. They're all law-abiding citizens that are just seeking asylum. No one would dare come into America and try to take advantage, who had a criminal background. Those people only do crimes outside of America. They don't even want to come to America. I don't know. That's not seeming to be reflected in what the behavior is and the ramifications for these places that have taken in a lot of unvetted migrants who we have no idea who they really are or where they come from or anything about them. So it's just a very strange, to me, just a very strange situation to be, behaving like we can just change a couple laws about the migrants and that'll fix all the problems, guys. It's just all to do with the migrants in the city, not the fact that we're not prosecuting shoplifters, nothing to do with the fact that we are releasing people that commit these types of crimes back onto the street without bail. Yeah, that's got nothing to do with it, I'm sure. Okay. I mean, people are not as stupid as the Democrats want them to be because they're realizing that these policies are what's leading to these realities that people in these cities are having to face. And most people don't want to be trying to shop in Walmart and they can't find anything because the stores are all cleaned out. Everything's been stolen. Or now it's all locked up. Like San Francisco, everything's behind glass. You can't get anything anymore. You got to go speak to a store attendant. And there are conspiracy theorists, again, who think that this is being allowed to happen because they want to go to everything. You just buy everything online. Then there's no shoplifting. Problem solved. And none of these companies have to maintain brick and mortar storefronts anymore. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what to say. But that's I mean, trying to rationalize why this is being allowed to happen. It's truly difficult to understand why the leaders in this country would want to do many different policy decisions that are undermining and degrading the fabric of America and creating crime on the streets and making life worse in the country, unless they're actively trying to subvert the country and prove that late stage capitalism is a failed experiment and the United States needs to start over and get rid of the Constitution and move toward a less free society, because obviously too many freedoms cause way more problems than no freedoms. So the government will take those freedoms and we'll be better stewards of them than you will.
Say something about what's happening here in New York City.
Sorry.
Do you want us to understand what's happening here in New York City? The schools are flooded.
New York is welcoming countless homeless migrants. We've set up this center here at the Roosevelt Hotel to process these migrants, to make sure they're fully vaccinated, to make sure to connect them with relatives and send them on their way if they know where they want to go, to give them employment counseling. And what?
You know where they're going on the tour because there are some issues.
I'm sorry?
There are some issues in the schools in New York City.
There are issues in the what?
The schools in New York City.
What about them?
Okay, there's an overload of students, and we need more ESL
Yeah, well, we certainly need more ESL teachers, and we need more help from the federal government, without question.
Okay.
And one of the key things the federal government can do is to provide temporary protected status for Venezuelans who are more than half the migrants, so they can get work permits immediately.
Okay, and can you identify yourself for our
I'm
audience?
Congressman Gerald Nadler of New York, right here, in fact.
Okay, excellent.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my
Oh, good God. I don't exactly know what the solution is. When you let things happen and just have to figure out on the back end, well, now you got a mess to clean up. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier to be thoughtful about your upfront policy, what you allow to happen, versus just opening the border or allowing anything to happen with no consequences and no attempt at control or law and order, and then finally it getting to a boiling point and you coming out with emergency measures like you're saving the day. It's a manufactured crisis that they're then the same people that manufactured it are now coming out with solutions for it, and I'm sure they expect to be, hailed as heroes. But if you're not, clueless, why would you hail someone as a hero for fixing a problem that they created? It's a failure of leadership that you allowed it to happen, that you allowed it to get to the point where New York City, which is one of the most liberal places on this planet that I'm aware of, they're out in the streets saying close the border. I mean, good God. How's Biden going to get any votes out of New York if that is a reflection and is not just a, group of deplorables that showed up or something like that? How are the Democrats going to win this election if this is a reflection of the sentiment in New York City based on their policy decisions leading that city? It'll be interesting, I guess, to see how they bail themselves out of this mess, this hole that they've dug for themselves. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'll see you again soon.